I'm Jonathan Hochberg here with Bubba Crumrine of Ithaca Underground. Bubba, thanks again for sitting down with me.
My pleasure. It's been a couple of years.
It has, and a lot has happened in a couple of years.
It has.
Give us a quick update?
Yeah, we'll run it down real quick. Since we last spoke 2 years ago, summer of 2014, we did receive our 501c3 status, making us an official not-for-profit. We expanded the board, so in addition to Eric Lane and George Johan, Ryan Clover and I, now includes Carrie Cooper, Allie Evans, AJ Bushi. We've had a complete boom in our volunteer involvement, especially after Carrie came on board as our volunteer liaison coordinator, and have over 50 individuals, high school students, college students, community members, assisting with everything from sound engineering, poster design, social media, grant writing, photography, videography, merch, sound engineering, the whole gamut. We've got folks helping out from every angle. We've released 2 digital compilations, and just launched our new ithacaunderground.org website that our volunteer web team turned around in a month's time. So we've got a lot of folks involved, a lot of hands in, and pulling from a lot of different talent, and it's been going very well.
Okay, so tell me quickly, what does the 501c status bring to you?
Oh, wow. So that allows us to really, we'd hit a ceiling with what we were able to do, just, covering, producing shows, producing over 60 shows a year with just what was coming in from the door. What the 501c3 status allows us to do is to apply for grants, of which we are 5 for 6, which for a brand new not-for-profit is like unheard of.
Sure.
We're doing very well. It also allows folks, businesses and individuals who want to donate to write it off as a tax reduction.
Right.
So instead of, in the past days of like early big day in, write me a check and it will sponsor the event, it's write a check, get a letter back.
Sure.
It's much more official, and it was the goal. To
Sure.
be this long-standing organization,
Sure.
and that provides us with that footprint to exist.
Sure, and it also gives you a shingle to put on the door that attracts more attention. And apparently,
Absolutely.
I mean, the volunteer boom has really blown your bandwidth wide open.
Absolutely. I mean, we were doing maybe 40 shows a year 2 years ago, and we're over 60 shows 2 years in a row running. But at the same time, it doesn't feel as stressful because we've got the equipment that we need now that's been donated, either donated or we've funded it from the grants, or from our fundraising events. We've had more opportunity to train volunteers. We're not just throwing people in to do it, so they're coming in with more tools. So having those volunteers, having the better gear, having the individuals involved who can train each other on it has just really exploded what we've been able to do on a weekly, monthly basis, and not just me.
So organization.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's really what it's been coming down to. I mean, just with Carrie and Allie and AJ joining the board, I mean, they just brought skill sets from a volunteer coordination, not-for-profit strategy, grant writing side of things that we just never had.
Sure.
The 4 of us before.
Sure. So that segues nicely into us talking about the upcoming fundraiser.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
where and when?
Sure. It's Friday, February 19th, coming up this weekend, at the Haunt again. They've been, the Haunt's been behind us for years and years and years.
Sure.
Really since, the 2008, since I took over Ithaca Underground. And this is going to be, I believe, our 4th annual fundraiser at the Haunt. It's going to be doors at 7 p.m., 11 p.m. curfew to keep it all ages.
Right.
Stack the bill in a very interesting manner. Viva Mayhem, really high energy ska band we've been working with for a while.
Them.
Yeah, they're going to be kicking things off, and then a little bit different. Billy and Maddie of Matter Rose are going to have a 4-piece band set for that. George Johan of Angry Mom Records has been working with them on a couple things, so he was in touch. They were very interested in being involved, so it's cool to have some representation of the Ithaca boom of the 90s,
Right.
represented on the bill.
Sure.
Then we've got circus culture, which, I mean, if people don't know about this, we have
I haven't heard.
with a circus school in Ithaca,
Oh, no
and
kidding.
they do education and performances, and their mission of fun and education and performance is just completely in line with the Ithaca Underground mission.
Right. Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
we ran into each other. This woman, Amy, runs the organization, and we ran into each other before they had their own space and everything at CSMA. They were loading out from a rehearsal or a class, and we were loading in to do a show, and we were like, we need to connect and do something sometime. And so this was like the perfect opportunity to do it. They're down in Press Bay Alley now, and there's going to be juggling and contortion things, and it's going to be really cool.
Wow,
So
that's a first.
Yeah, so it's going to be more than just music, because we wanted
Uh-huh.
to make this one like special and fun and
Sure.
celebratory, and we do
Oh,
music
and a
all
little
the time.
cross-pollination too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're going to be there. Scope's Monkey Trial are going to be in this like just really genre mashing, funk and rock and punk and high energy sort of thing going on. Some hip hop involved. So horn section, large piece band. We worked with them a couple years ago. Just really seemed like pairing them with like Viva Mayhem and all that would just kind of up the
Sure.
fun factor.
Sure.
Bunch of IC students that seem really interested in what we're doing, and then Anna Coogan with Willie B.
Yeah.
headlining.
Sure.
We've been looking to partner with Anna on something for a long time.
Cool.
She's been more and more interested in what we've been doing.
Well, she's involved over at CSMA, and so it ties in. Yeah.
It
nicely.
really does. And,
Sure.
And our Carrie Cooper got her to come out to like Naked Noise last year. We've met a couple of times, and everything that Anna does, teaching music lessons,
Right.
everything of that sort, and the youth connection there.
Yeah.
Is just again right in line with what we're doing.
Sure.
And it follows the formula of what we've done for past fundraisers with Gun Poets or
Right.
Greg Gary.
Right.
Where we're
Bring in mainstream.
Yeah, or just Ithaca acts that are a little more prominent that are playing out,
Right.
on their own, but combining that with folks that we work with in this sort of like celebratory environment, but working with Ithaca artists that are completely behind our mission
Sure.
of radical inclusivity,
Yep.
pushing boundaries with music and all ages.
Right. That's great. And then in a couple of months, we got Naked Noise 7 coming up.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm so excited for this year's lineup too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This one's going to be great. I mean, we've had a little bit.
Not like the last
Oh
ones
yeah.
where
Oh my gosh.
chopped liver. But
No. Everything's just been leveling up every year. I mean, Naked Noise number 5, I think really set the new precedent. I mean, 4 we were really getting there, and I think 5 really nailed the door, and then 6 just has put the bar up there as the expectation of just the premier experimental
No, the
music
crowds
event.
have been getting bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, we almost doubled our turnout last
Yeah.
year.
So tell us what Naked Noise
Sure,
is.
sure. So for those who don't know, it's our annual experimental music event. It's a large improvised drone ensemble. So we're utilizing the third floor CSMA space to its fullest potential. It's such a huge, massive space, and just
With amazing acoustics.
yeah,
So, yeah.
and using them for our benefit.
Right.
So we set up the percussionists in the center of the room and all the rest of the musicians around the perimeter. So we've got 3 percussionists in the center, and then we've got instrumentation, everything from homemade noise and synthesizer instrumentation to bassoon, saxophone, voice, rock instrumentation, guitar, bass, subfrequency synthesizer things going on, vibraphone. There's going to be a lot of different things going on. So, I mean, everything from, we've got musicians like Kier Nuringer coming back into town from Philadelphia, Christina Camille, who's sort of more on the R&B, jazz, soul kind of voice coming into play. We've got Heather Faye, who's back in from Berlin, who was a part of Sunspells, who were part of the bands that founded Naked Noise years ago. David Raysig of Brian on bassoon again. We've got James from Electric Golem, doing electronics and
Wow.
synthesizers. So a really broad base. Owen Lennon of Anansi. So we've got folks up from high school students,
Sure.
On through
College professors.
Yeah, college professors, spanning the entire gamut of people who are in experimental music every day,
Right.
to folks who are coming in from a different collaborative
That's excellent.
type of section. It's really the only thing in the Northeast like it, from a collaborative standpoint, from a local music standpoint. It's bringing people together who may have never played together before. In an improvised environment that is, using this room as an instrument. And we have Nils Hoover coming back up from Austin, former Ithacan, to do the light installation. So we'll be installing fabrics and things hanging from the ceiling to live project visuals on that just really turn it into a completely transcendental experience.
Sure.
Just completely enveloping you in the experience.
And when again is that happening?
Sure. So that's going to be Saturday, April 9th at the Community School of Music and Arts, 9 p.m. doors, 2 45-minute improvised sets.
And what is what do you see is the major thrust of Ithaca Underground in the next year?
In the next year, really expanding our volunteer base and just more and more delegation. I've been bringing on, just some really standout youth volunteers to help with stage managing, running the show, either while I'm taking care of other stuff or in my absence, where I'm having to take care of something else that might be going on in life.
Sure.
So we've got Dylan Farrell, Kayla Sewell, one of our newer volunteers, Delaney, some other folks who've had some event coordination experience. Dylan's run things for Cornell Concert Commission. Kayla's been Second Dam and running things at the History Center, all the Moog exhibits. Delaney's been running DIY shows on campus as well. So we've got just such a core volunteer base. We want to just make sure people get trained, and we're just able to have people run these things as much as possible, as well as on the fundraising and resource development standpoint, getting more of our volunteers involved in that, in grant writing,
Sure.
in reaching out to local businesses for contributions, whether it be monetary or physical
Sure.
things that we need, or
Sure.
food, and
Which are great life training experiences
Exactly.
beyond even just the benefit to Ithaca Underground.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what we want to have
Right.
that return too.
Sure.
We've been writing recommendation letters
Right.
for employment, or for scholarships,
Sure.
or school things. So
Which is another thing that the 501c adds some clout to.
it really does.
Right.
It really does. We're 100% volunteer driven. I'm
Right.
volunteer. The board is volunteer.
Sure.
Everyone is just dedicating their time. So there needs to be some tangible give back.
Right.
And if that's in recommendation, in our word, going back to them as saying, thank you for your time. This is what this person has done for us.
Right.
And it's definitely helped.
Yeah, I'll bet. So how can someone find out more or get involved?
Sure. So our brand new website, ithacaunderground.org. The events are the first thing you'll see, but if you go into the events tab, you'll see all the details on everything that's coming up. We've got things announced up through July at this point with
Wow.
One Fest, and more things being announced all the time. There's a participate tab, which is everything from donating to volunteering to getting booked on a show, getting your band involved if you're local or on tour. And the volunteer portion of that has a quick survey that just lets us know how they're looking to get involved. The Underground succeeds when our volunteers are succeeding and they're comfortable, whether that's being trained in something they don't know how to do or applying a skill that they already have. So we want to know, what do they want to do, and then we can get them in the mix.
Sure.
So, because some people want to be involved with day of show stuff, and some people want to be involved behind the scenes.
Right.
And it's a great way for people who aren't musicians to be heavily involved in what we're doing.
Sure. That's excellent. Well, Bubba Crumrine of Ithaca Underground, thank you so much for sitting down, and I'll look forward to what happens next.
Sounds good. We'll see you Friday.
All right.